Ravens staying in the AFC North. They took care of the Texans. Now, a couple takeaways in this game. We predicted the Ravens to cover, so we were right there. The Texans, they were overwhelmed just based on everybody that's on the defensive. Kyle Hamilton, you got the Calais Campbells of the world. Ravens played really well defensively, but I was concerned with their offense. Odell, he got banged up. He didn't really have that great of a game. Mark Andrews was banged up. But Zay Flowers looks amazing from the go. Looks like he's their number one. Has a little bit of a Tyreek Hill play style in him. Quick, elusive receiver. I think he'll be really good for him. Interesting fact about CJ Stroud. First-round quarterbacks since 2019 are 0-10 in their debuts. So interesting there. Texans didn't really have much of a chance, but I liked what I saw from CJ Stroud. He has no weapons.
Yeah.
His number one receiver right now is Tank Dell.
Bobby Trees
or Dalton Schultz. Just not the greatest receiver core and a pretty bad offensive line. I liked what I saw from Dameon Pierce. This is a team that I'd like to think if they face some better competition, that they'll perform a little better.
Yeah, and I know the Texans had a tough game, but they were in it in the first half, and CJ Stroud doesn't have those weapons like you mentioned, but I thought with all the circumstances going up against the Baltimore defense, he looked like he had a pretty good feel for the game. His throwing motion looks pretty good. It's going to be tough to judge him, so I'm not going to kill him or say CJ Stroud sucks after this game, but I do think he had a pretty decent feel for it being his first start and people burying him in preseason with that first throw being a pick that he threw in the preseason. But I think overall that was good. And I think as far as the Ravens go, their defense was really good. Lamar Jackson had some really dumb plays though, and he seemed very loosey-goosey with the ball. It seemed like it was just a Texans team where wasn't too interested in the game, especially when you get these star quarterbacks. Sometimes they're not as necessarily motivated to get up week one and go out there gangbusters versus the Texans. But I am worried that we're still doing the design runs early in the season. Lamar Jackson was still putting himself in harm's way, fumbling the ball there, but encouraged with Zay Flowers, new offensive coordinator. It's going to take some time for this offense to grow and pick up some steam. So overall, I thought the Ravens would roll them, but I was encouraged that the Texans defense held them down a little bit, played well. I think DeMeco Ryans proved that, hey, I can be a pretty good coach in the football league right now. And I compared him to Robert Saleh. They both came out as defensive coordinators out of San Francisco. Robert Saleh had a lot of work to do to rebuild the New York Jets. And you saw Saleh's defense was really good. And I think with the Texans, it's going to take some time, but I think that defense is going to be pretty good.